of a vintage series called Car and Track, which was originally produced during the first half of the 1970s. Before we begin the show, though, a brief program note. Using as many as 8 cameras to shoot a single event, Car and Track captured some of the great NASCAR competitions of the era, one race at a time. Over the course of some 80 episodes through 6 seasons, series producer and host Bud Lindemann lovingly documented a unique era in American motor racing. While the race action contained in the series remains timeless, the program itself has not dated quite so gracefully. Although the years have not been overly kind to Bud's decidedly low-key introductions and interviews, we believe them to be an integral part of this one-of-a-kind series. So please, stay with us now as Speed Vision presents a rare slice of 1970s Americana, Car and Track.
Half-mile track in Martinsville, Virginia was in excellent condition for the running of the Cardinal 500. A crowd of almost 18,000 race fans were on hand to witness the longest modified race ever staged in the Southland. After the pre-race activities, the drivers climbed aboard. Number 21, Eddie Royster. The point leader and pole sitter, Carl "Bug" Stevens from Rehoboth, Massachusetts. Driving a 36 Plymouth, number 53, Hank Thomas from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. With a signal from the NASCAR officials, all cars move out on the track for the parade lap. Bug Stevens and Eddie Royster in the first row. Number 53, Hank Thomas, and the 00 car, Fred DeSaro, in the second row. Then it's number 38, Jerry Cook from Rome, New York. Alongside is the Connecticut boy, Gene Bergen, driving number 40. The favorite in this race is Ray Hendrick in car number 11. He was plagued with chassis problems on Friday and was unable to compete in time trials. However, he did win a qualifying race on Saturday, thus allowing him to start in the 21st position. All cars holding position well as they growl out of the fourth turn and fire down the front chute for the green flag. Bug Stevens in car number 3 came off the pole like he was launched out of a slingshot. Eddie Royster in the Ford number 21 is second, with Fred DeSaro third. Watch that number 40. He has handling problems. The car is smoking through every turn. He lost it. Gene Bergen, the driver, he forced it a little too hard through the fourth pocket and spun out in heavy traffic. But he's all right and heads into the pits. Down the back chute, Hendricks is on the move as he passes Jerry Chamberlain's Mustang, number 31. Came into the pits after spinning out. His crew changed rubber and have him out in 43 seconds. Hey, that's about as close as you ever want to come. Another Winston-Salem driver, Max Barrier, in car number 12, blew the right rear tire coming into the third turn and almost put it into the wall. In the pits, his crew go over that little 37 Chevy from bumper to bumper, change the tire, add fuel, clean the windshield, and Barrier goes back in the race. Bug Stevens, driving that 36 Chevy number 3, the modified point leader, is still out in front. But now, Ray Hendricks and Sonny Hutchins are both up battling for the number 2 spot. Number 53, Hank Thomas, brings his 36 Plymouth in for fuel and right side rubber. He was running in the second position, developed ignition trouble, and dropped down to 5th just before pitting. Ray Hendrick in car number 11 has been running a beautiful race, moving up from the 21st position to 2nd place. He's right on top of Bugs and charges him in every corner of the racetrack. He did it! And the crowd goes wild. Hendrick pulled a slingshot out of the fourth turn and took Stevens on the high side, right in front of the grandstand. Number 64, Kenny Rush, lost it again, but he managed to keep it off the wall and goes back in the scramble. Man, oh man, these boys just plain love to race. Ed Flemke in the 02 car comes into the pits for new rubber and fuel. We just noticed the blonde member of his crew, NASCAR's Grand National Rookie of the Year, Pete Hamilton. Pete started in cars just like this. Now he's part of the Dodge team. Here's the Chevy number 3, Buck Stevens, in for his first scheduled pit stop. He has a fine crew, and they have him out in 29 seconds, and that's fast for modified. Another one goes wild in the first turn. The 63 Falcon, driven by Al Brennan, spins all the way around and ends up on the grass. He lost it in heavy traffic, never got touched, and goes back in the race. Flash. Ray Hendrick powers his number 11 through the turn and down the front chute. He has that 37 Chevy handling perfectly and seems to be stretching his lead. Now Eddie Royster pulls his Ford in for fuel. There's trouble down there. The car's on fire. Eddie scrambles out as they hit it with the extinguisher. These fire crews are right on their toes. That blaze never really got started. Royster tells his crew, this car is hotter than ever now. Let's get it back on the track. He climbs in and buckles up while they change the right rear tire. Eddie hails from Middleburg, North Carolina, and does a good job in NASCAR's modified division. He set the second fastest time for today's race with a 22.57. Driving a 37 Ford, lost it in the third turn, slid up high and smashed against the guardrail. Jerry is all right and gets out, but his car won't see any more action today. The pace car leads the entire field around slowly under the caution flag while the wrecker takes Compton's car off the track. The leader, Ray Hendrick, takes this opportunity for a badly needed pit stop. His crew refuels an almost empty tank and puts on new outside rubber. Ray relaxes for a few seconds with a cup of cold water, but with a $23,000 purse dangling in front of them, they get that car out in record time. Drives his 36 Plymouth behind the wall and climbs out. This long race, coupled with a blistering pace, is taking its toll on several of the cars. Thomas's car goes out due to engine failure. Ed Flemke hops out of his 36 Chevy, another engine that couldn't take the grind. The crew push it behind the wall and out of the race. They're all over the racetrack. Suddenly, the number 1 turn looks like Times Square. Number 93, Bob Melnick, and the number 13 Mustang, driven by Bobby John, tangled coming into the turn. Both cars spun. Apparently, Melnick's car is all right as he comes down off the high side and heads back into the race. But that Mustang is going to need a little help. With the yellow out again, Eddie Royster screams into the pits. No fire, no trouble this time. Just a good, fast, routine stop for fuel. Ray Hendrick has stretched his lead over a half a lap on Buck Stevens. The 00 car with Desaro aboard is running third, and number 23, Billy Hensley from Ridgeway, Virginia, is in the 4th spot. In the first turn. 21, driven by Eddie Royster, came wide and high into turn 1. He lost it and slammed hard into the concrete retaining wall. With the yellow flag out, the cleanup crew goes to work on the track. Eddie totaled the front end on that Ford. Those cars just aren't built to take out 6 feet of cement wall and keep on running. The officials just gave the signal that Royster is all right. He can watch the rest of this race from the pits. Most of the field falls in behind the pace car, while some of the others take this chance to head into the pit area for much-needed repairs and refueling. 500 laps on a half-mile track in heavy traffic takes the best a driver and car have to offer. A dejected Eddie Royster walks back to the garage area, already talking about a new car for the next big race. The starter tosses the green flag out once again. Ray Hendrick is still a boy to catch. Stevens is running in the number 2 spot with number 98, Harris, third. The yellow flag was out for a total of 14 laps during the Royster accident, and these boys are eager to get to the finish line. Another spinner and another yellow flag. This is where the action is today. It seems that every race at Martinsville is a thriller right down to the wire. It was Bob Burnell that time in car number 57, and he heads back to the pits. On the restart, Hendrick pours it on and stretches his lead over Bud Stevens to 3/4 of a lap. That number 11 Chevy seems to run stronger on every lap. He pounds down out of the 4th turn and onto the front chute for the white flag. One more lap, and this one will be history. Sweeping turn onto the bank 4th pocket. Hendrick is still running flat out. Here he is down the grandstand straight for the checkered flag, the winner of the 1st annual Cardinal 500. Ray Hendrick, the crowd pleaser from Richmond, Virginia, drove that little 37 Chevrolet from the 21st starting position to the number 1 spot in one of the wildest modified races ever staged in the Southland. An arm-weary but very happy driver pulls up into victory lane. The second place money went to Carl Bud Stevens, who also clinched the 1968 point title. Ray was greeted by his wife, the press, a huge silver trophy, and a man with a check for $3,810. Hey, maybe that's why he's smiling.